We're almost at the end, but first let's talk about the UI. So, the attractor UI, the player input, and the UI. These are the three different UI elements we have. UI is the one that is always present. It will never leave. And it tracks player 1 and player 2 and the high score. We have these positions set up, but the game designers can move them around as they so choose. First, we change the text to be all zeros, and remember that tilde is going to be the player icon, so lives, and we can see this later on when we get current lives. Then every frame, we will change the text to match whatever the scores are, and then we draw them during the draw step. The player input is pretty similar. We have a congrats we have congrats, enter text, input, and then a locally stored name, which will be sent to the player manager in order to put it into the list of names that it has. Then we have a register input so that we know whenever the player types. We have our text set up within the creation, and again, during the draw function, it will draw them all. For text entered, again, we have this input, and then we have 8 and 13, which are backspace and enter, as you can see. They do their special things. And we do check to see if the name, the length, is 3. If we so wish, we can have names less than 3. However, for now, names are required to be at least 3 characters. To be exactly 3 characters, not at least. Otherwise, we will receive the character that they input and place it accordingly within both the text and the name. And once the player is done, the name gets sent to the player manager, as I mentioned before. The attractor UI contains the top scores, the names, the copyright, and the little every 12,000 points you get a new life. So, moving in, we see something very similar. Change our text, draw string, and then we register those glyphs, which, remember, tells the mushroom field to insert indestructibles at those positions. We do this with life info, copyright, and then this for loop is in order to make the high scores, to get all of the information for every name, every score on the high score list from the player manager, and to initialize them accordingly. And then we just draw them. So that's the UI.